And you were more of a rock band than a punk band?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fair to call the Ramones a punk band either. You know, it was that the Ramones were a pop band. It's very loud vocals. The vocals in the mix are always louder than the guitars, and catchy melodies and upfront drums, and you know. But they sort of got into the punk thing too. But I don't think they really were punk. Stranglers also. The Stranglers and the Vibrators, those two British bands that sort of lumped in with punk, but they're really more of a rock band than a punk band.
Now, Deniz, you were inducted into the ARIA Australian Music Hall of Fame in 2007, but the band were basically had declined that, and also in another interview that you took in Cologne in 2007, you didn't think you were famous. Can you elaborate on that a little?
Well, we never had a hit record, and our stuff never got played on the radio very much. You know, we never had a high rotation on the radio. We never sold albums or singles. I think we're probably one of the only bands that ended up getting an ARIA that never sold records. And so we didn't feel like we fitted in with all of that. You know, we never really trusted or felt like what we were doing was consistent with the music industry. And so that was the reason why the first time around that they offered that to us, we decided to decline it because we didn't see that it was appropriate. But you know, that's not saying anything against the people that run the ARIAs or the people that are there. Maybe there are a few honest people in the music industry somewhere. So I hate to make a blanket generalization, but as far as our contact with the music industry up to that point it was all negative, and so we weren't keen on getting that. But then the second time around, we sort of saw it in a different way. We picked it up as a I guess we sort of saw it more as a tribute to us as a band that influenced a lot of other bands that did make it fairly big, that did sell a lot of records and were successful in that paradigm. And if you look at it that way, then I guess it might have been more appropriate. And I think that it was also offered to us in a good-natured way, and in a, you know, you don't want to offend somebody that's trying to do a nice thing for you. There was that element, and our families really wanted us to accept it as well.
Thankfully, Deniz, you accepted the award and the recognition that you rightfully deserve.
Yeah, that's right. And so we were happy to come around to the idea of being comfortable with getting that award in 2007. And we're lucky that they came back to us. You know, normally if you bite the hand that's trying to feed you, they don't come back.
Just going back a little, what happened to Johnny Canis?
He's around. He moved up to Queensland for many years and was there, and then when nobody saw him for a long time, but he's back now. He's living in Sydney, and the Hitmen just had a big reunion, did a Australian tour, and played a bunch of shows, and so yeah, the Hitmen I think they're going again.
Dennis, after 30 odd years of being in a band with these guys, how do you get along? You know, you must be like, I guess, like a family after such a long time of playing music together. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys get along?
Well, I just spent a month not a month, but 3 weeks on the road with Pip, and we talk about all sorts of things. You know, talk a lot about music, of course, but we talk about other stuff too. You know, Pip's he can talk about anything. Politics, economics. We just talk about whatever it is we're interested in. Not all the guys in the band get along. We've had our moments of terrible infighting and personality clash within the band. That's why the band broke up the first time. And so it's like a dysfunctional family more than anything else. It gets together in holidays, and then the same old conflicts and schemas pop back up, and you wonder why you can go that long and never really learn how to avoid that stuff, because they do crop back up again. I think what you do learn, though, is you manage it better. You don't let it get to the point where it's going to stop you from completing the mission.
It's good to see that you still get along. Now, Deniz, you're a qualified fighter pilot. You've flown fighter jets with the US Air Force. Am I correct? Are you flying anymore?
No, I don't fly at all anymore.
What you haven't done, you're a doctor, you've flown fighter jets, you're a rock star. What's it like humming around at Mach 1?
Yeah, or Mach 2. Things smooth out quite a bit. It gets very quiet. But I miss that to some degree. I did that for about 8-10 years, something like that, and then it became too difficult for the family because we had small children, and the absences were too much. I think that if you're going to fly airplanes, you need to be doing it regularly. Probably once or twice a week to maintain currency and be safe. I don't really have time for that, so I don't choose not to fly. Now, also, I prefer to, if I'm going to fly, I'm not interested in getting an assessment driving from A to B. I'd rather be in an airplane that can go straight up and straight down.
And you're an ER doctor as well in New South Wales. How many do you get recognised often, or have you been in the past?
Yeah, that happens often. It's not a very good thing because it can get in the way of the medical care, but it's not something that I enjoy when it happens, but you just have to be gracious and say, yes, thank you. Now, let's get on with things. That happened quite a bit when I was working up at Coffs Harbour, not so much at Bankstown, because where I work now in Sydney is a heavily migrant area, and most of the patients that come in are like right off the boat from Africa or the Middle East and or Asia, and they don't know anything about it, of course. So, but when I was working in Coffs Harbour, I used to get it quite a bit.
Now, Deniz, I'm just going to go off track here a little, if I can. What can you tell us about Deniz Tek that people don't generally know? Look, we know that your dad was of Turkish descent. Your mum was American from Michigan. What's Deniz Tek's favorite food?
My goodness, that's really difficult. I guess alcohol. Penfolds Grange would be my favorite food. I don't get to drink. I don't get to drink that very often, by the way. Only if I'm with somebody that has the means to afford it. But I'll just say that I love food. I love eating all sorts of things, and I really like different kinds of international cuisine, and really enjoy. That's one of the things I enjoy the most about being on tour, is because in Europe you go to a place and they want to show you the regional cuisine. And they're very proud of it. It goes back thousands of years, and they're really into it. And they always take the band to the best place, and they put on special stuff, and it's always a treat. And I just love that about touring.